If you followed international news recently, you've likely seen the headlines. The Sagrada Familia is finished. The topping out of the 172.5-meter Jesus Tower officially makes this the tallest church building in the world. The narrative of completion has moved firmly into the mainstream, marked by pop culture milestones like the release of a record-breaking 12,000-piece Lego model. But the reality on the ground is different. While the exterior looks finished from a distance, the interior remains a construction site, and the official 2026 completion date is realistically a placeholder for a process that will likely stretch to 2034. This disconnect has sparked a jarring reaction locally. While the world celebrates a milestone, these residents of Barcelona are marching through the streets to demand the construction stop entirely. Parallel to the street protests, art critics are dismissing the project's recent progress, claiming the new towers are soulless, tech-driven replicas that lack the spirit of the original design. The Sagrada Familia has evolved into a 140-year-old collision. It represents a struggle where a divine architectural vision sits at odds with modern industrial technology and the survival of a living city. Stepping back to the beginning of this struggle reveals the philosophy of the man who started it, Antoni Gaudí. He believed that straight lines belong to men, while curves belong to God. This nature-first approach dictates the entire interior. These stone pillars branch out like trees, using organic geometry to distribute the immense weight of the ceiling across the floor. But solving the engineering of these shapes in an era before computers presented a massive puzzle. To calculate these complex gravitational loads, Gaudí relied on the physics of the Catenary curve. He built elaborate models using hanging strings weighted with small sandbags. By letting gravity dictate their shape, he discovered naturally occurring arches. Then, the mirror trick. Looking at the reflection upside down, Gaudí saw the exact supporting arches needed for his massive towers. Even in his ambition, Gaudí practiced a specific humility. He designed the highest tower to be exactly half a meter shorter than Barcelona's local mountain, Montjuïc, so his work would never upstage the natural creation of God. Gaudí was doing more than designing a church. He was using the laws of physics to engineer a living, breathing stone organism. The project's momentum broke under the weight of two tragedies: Gaudí's sudden death in 1926, followed by a catastrophic fire just a decade later. During the Spanish Civil War in 1936, a fire gutted Gaudí's workshop. The analog models and blueprints that held the secrets to finishing the cathedral were reduced to ash. This loss sparked a century-long debate. Without the master's original plans, modern architects are left to interpret or invent the details of his unfinished vision. To bridge this gap, builders turned to modern industrial solutions. They replaced hand carving with 3D modeling, parametric design, and high-speed CNC milling to fast-track construction. Purists argue that this efficiency comes at a cost. They claim these hyper-perfect factory-machined stones feel like mass-produced blocks, stripped of the soul and craftsmanship Gaudí required. It is the ultimate architectural paradox. To finish a building inspired entirely by the organic world, the builders had to thoroughly industrialize it. The focus of the conflict is now shifting from the towers to the city streets below, as work begins on the most explosive phase, the glory facade. Gaudí's original blueprint includes a massive grand staircase stretching outward from the entrance. However, in the century since his death, the city of Barcelona has expanded, boxing the church in with dense residential blocks. Fulfilling Gaudí's vision today creates a legal and ethical crisis. To build that staircase, the city must authorize the demolition of an entire block of modern apartment buildings. This plan carries a heavy human cost, requiring the forced eviction of hundreds of families who have lived in this neighborhood for decades. Meanwhile, the sheer volume of tourism continues to suffocate the local infrastructure, degrading the quality of life for the residents who remain. This aggressive modern rush to complete the landmark stands in direct opposition to Gaudí's own philosophy of patience. He famously noted that his client, referring to God, was not in a hurry. A moment of reflection. It leaves us with a final, difficult question. Is completing the architectural blueprint of a dead genius worth bulldozing the homes and the reality of the people living in the present.